Okay, I'm going to start off with a simple yes or no question. Alicia, don't look so scared. I'm just going to ask you a simple question. Do you like Oreos?
Yes.
Yes, you like Oreos, but I'd like you to know, Alicia, that I am offended by your answer. This is because, does it not occur to you that the white part of the Oreo is in the center, while the black part of the Oreo is surrounding it? Why does the white part get to be in the center? Have you thought about that? It's racist. How can you support something that's racist?
Yes.
Would you like to change your answer, Alicia?
Okay.
Sure, what is your answer now?
No.
No, I am offended too, Alicia. The cookie part of an Oreo tastes like chocolate. It's obviously chocolate. Chocolate comes from a plant. A plant is a vegetable. It's healthy. And the cream is high in calcium and proteins. How can you not like something that's healthy for you, Alicia?
That's not the answer.
Okay, did I make you feel bad? I'm sorry if I did. That was the point. But yeah, I was just trying to prove a point, and I hope that you're okay with it. Please be okay with it. Yeah, I love Oreos. And the racist stuff is crap I made up, I know. Okay, so the point I'm trying to prove is something as innocent as liking an Oreo can be construed as offensive by another person. And in fact, today's reality is whatever you say, no matter how carefully you put it, is going to offend someone. So, while school has taught you important life skills like identifying the mitochondria to be the powerhouse of the cell, it has not taught you one important skill. And today I am here to bridge that yawning gap, to fill in that one skill you will definitely need in future. How to be politically correct 101. An important aspect of being politically correct is knowing how to answer people's questions. Often you may find yourself backed into a corner. You feel like you want to answer the question correctly, but you're afraid you may leave a bad impression on the person and screw up your relationship. Well, fear not, because I am going to teach you how to answer questions properly. The first thing you can do is deflect the question, and there are two ways to do that. First way, compliment them. Compliments always work because the person immediately gets distracted and immediately begins to like you. So this prevents them from being offended in the future too, because they will think, hey, even though this person said something bad to me, she called me pretty the last time, so you know what, I'm going to let that slide. Another example, in a family gathering, someone you don't know comes up to you and asks you if you know who they are. Now, normally you would smile politely or awkwardly and then gesture frantically at your mother for help. But if you're politically correct, this is how you would answer. Yeah, you look as dazzling as ever. I remember you all right. You haven't aged one bit. The second thing you can do is ask more questions. If you can't convince, confuse, right? If someone asks you if you know them, ask them back. Do you know me? Others include, what do you think? How do you do? My personal favorite is, in this economy. It works for everything. Hey, how are you? In this economy? Are you free for lunch? In this economy? Can you please pass me the salt? In this economy? The best killer response would be, I don't know, you seem to be the expert on this. Now, this is because it combines both the complimenting people part and asking more questions part. Of course, this question wouldn't work if someone was asking you about how to dress like a clown for Halloween. You get the gist. The second thing you can do is straight up avoid the question. As a non-American, I had a surprisingly fun time following the presidential elections of 2016. Because that was where I learned about this technique. When asked to account for his missing tax returns, yours sincerely, the American president, answered, Clinton created ISIS, and I'm going to defeat ISIS. I'm going to build a wall. I'm going to make America great again. Sure, there's a disconnect between the question and the response, but when you say things with such confidence and gusto, it's difficult to pinpoint what's exactly wrong with your response. So when you really have nothing to say, or you really don't feel like coming up with an appropriate response, just go with something big, something mind-blowing, something that will knock people's socks off. My personal go-to response is, the universe is expanding. which makes me wonder if human life is really that significant. Alright, step 3. Never use adjectives when describing something. This is because adjectives are often very subjective. Like, what do you define as beautiful or smart or amazing? Here's a piece of news to support this. A UK recruiter's job advert for reliable and hard-working applicants was rejected by the job centre as it could have been offensive to unreliable and lazy people. This also means that you should try to withhold all value judgment. People don't need to know about what you think. It doesn't matter. It should never crop up in a conversation. And if people ask you for your opinion on something, refer to step 1, how to deflect uncomfortable questions. Never say something definite. You know that nothing is absolutely correct or wrong, and you need to make that very clear in what you say. Use phrases like it depends, or maybe, or as of now. This allows you room to wriggle out of complications you may face in the future. This is also why when you give advice to other people, you end it off with, I don't know though, so they can't really say that they ruined your life. In the Oreos example, instead of saying a yes or no, a more politically correct answer would be, it really depends on my mood, on my diet, and for now, they're sending culturally appropriate messages, so I would say that I support the Oreo, but this may change in the future depending on how they decide to market their product. So, in summary, do not give your opinion, or hint at an opinion, or use words that may suggest you are giving an opinion, or say anything that can be held as an opinion in the future. This means you do not insult robots, aliens, and time machines too. In fact, just don't have an opinion. That sounds off, doesn't it? We know from young that we must fight for what we believe in. Stand up for ourselves. That means having an opinion, and not being afraid to share it, no matter what the consequences may be. Perhaps amidst the frenzy to search for true political correctness, we have forgotten what is more important. The ability to tolerate different views, accept diversity, respect other people's rights to freedom of expression. Instead of trying so hard to be politically correct all the time, wouldn't it make more sense for us to learn to be less offended by what other people say? In the words of a famous YouTuber, when you say you're offended by something, are you really offended? Or do you just think you should be because everyone in society is telling you to feel that way? Today, I taught you to be politically correct. And undoubtedly, you will need to use some of these skills at some point in your life. I only hope you're doing it for actual good and not because you were too afraid to speak up for the truth. Thank you, and totally not sponsored by Oreos.